So who would have thought that last fall and just almost a year ago that a abandoned video store and a pool hall that had gone out of business would be transformed into an amazing 21st century public library building. People walking in through the entrance will be overwhelmed and I think say wow, just as they do at the main library, at the vista and all of the things available. If you start to your immediate left when you come in, that's where the holds will be for items waiting for you. We'll talk in a little bit about how you can actually just drive up without even having to get out of your car to retrieve a hold item. Our service desk for getting new library cards, assistance with the self-checkouts will be to your left. And then as you look around, you'll see our events sign, the wonderful glass sculpture in the distance. There will be books, and this was something on a very personal note. When my mother visited the main library for the first time, she said, "I don't see books immediately within my view." So we were very mindful, or at least I was personally, that anyone walking in will also see books that they are used to and expecting to see in a library. A lot of requests that we also get too are for large print books to be close to the entrance. Our typical user of that collection is a little bit older, and so that'll be the first collection that you see when you come in. It's our large type books. To your right when you come in, you'll also see a whole set of shelves for our used books through the Friends of the Library. This group sells donated items and for very reasonable prices, and in turn they give the library back over $60,000 a year, which funds all of our programming, any special news services that we may want to try out when we don't have it in the general budget, and those will be available to your immediate right. Another great space in this building, and we hear a lot of requests for, are a place to have a snack and sit back and take a little bit of a break from studying. We're going to have what originally we were calling our laptop lounge, but truly it's sort of a cafe with vending machines. We'll have a large counter where people can sit and linger, enjoy a snack, and some cafe tables as well. And we'll also have a television set there. So just a very comfortable space that people can sort of relax and take a break in. So here we are in the teen room, and one of our very popular librarians, Sarah Jones. Tell us a little bit about what you expect to do here in this wonderful new space.
Well, this is one of the most exciting spaces in the new building, I think. In the old building, the teens didn't really have much of a space of their own. So we have this whole room here designed kind of just for hanging out. We have a lot of teens who come in after school, so we'll have space for laptops on the counter. We're going to have a gaming station over here. You can see nothing's quite done yet. Some of the new popular books will be in here, and it's just a good place where we have walls to keep the noise down and teens can just kind of hang out.
And tell me, is food ever a popular component of your programs?
Yes, absolutely. The teens are always looking for pizza at our program, so we have a really popular Pizza and Paperbacks book club that meets here on the third Friday of every month for kids in grades 6 through 12. And luckily we have a great space for that to happen here.
And a nice little kitchen right around the corner that will service our large meeting room, but also is very convenient to the teen room as well. So why don't you show us where some more of the collections are for additional teen interests for reading.
So this is the room for kind of hanging out, doing your homework, talking to friends a little bit, and then out around the other side of the wall we have some more study tables for doing homework, and then this is where the teen collection will live. So we have a lot more space for our most popular collection, which is the manga. That's all going here, we think. So we have a lot of space for a lot of new books that we've bought, and we're very excited.
And also important to note, not only do we have standard outlets, we also have USB ports in all the tables too, so you can connect and charge up your phones and other devices, tablets that way too. One of the major services at the South Branch are internet stations with internet access and word processing and a variety of other services. We log over 2,000 sessions a month, and Michelle, can you talk a little bit about the new area that we have and how they're divided up by age group as well?
Absolutely. At the new South Branch location, we are increasing by, I'd say, at least 3 times as many computers. For the adult section, we have 21 computers in this area. Each of these machines will be equipped with a scanner. They have larger computer screens and all of the software that we've come accustomed to, the Microsoft and Design. There's a ton of different resources that people have at their fingertips. But in addition to spacing things out with our new zones, we have 4 computers available in the teen area, 4 computers in the children's area, where parents can work with their kids on their homework and not feel like they're disrupting the adults. And we also have a laptop lounge and other table stations with plugs, which was a big hit in our heads, because at our current branch we had no plugs. I mean, we asked a few times for plugs, but it was very impossible. We have plugs everywhere at this location. So not just are we giving you the equipment to use, we are giving you the space to use your equipment, and we're really excited about that.
And what about for those people that just want to come in and check a quick email message and dart right out?
Oh, I forgot about those 3 additional computers. Right near our entrance, we have 3 quick access where people can jump on really quick and run back out the door. We previously had 1 machine that did that, and it was always in use. So this is a great.
And we also are planning a little bit for the future, so it may not be ready on opening day, but there's a little tiny special room here in the back of the computer lab. Do you want to tell people what we're starting to think about for that?
We've been looking at ways that people can create material at their public library, and it's a big movement in the industry, but at the same time we wanted to see what we could do here at South Branch. And in part of the designs, they made a small room. We expect to be able to do a recording studio with the equipment so people can make their music or publish certain things. We're working on the technology. We don't have the exact specifics ready for it, but the space is there, which is something that we don't usually have at South Branch. So we have the space, and we're excited to see what we can make with that space.
And we're also hoping that maybe there's a donor out there who may take a particular interest in this service that we can provide to the community. So we're also seeking donors for that type of opportunity. And
I think our patrons would enjoy that. I see people create on our public computers, and they're at stations like that, to give them a space where they can create other things, where they can make noise and they can make video, or they can make music, and then put it out there for the world to see. I'm really excited to see what our patrons can do with that.
And it certainly is a new role that public libraries, as you mentioned, are expanding in. Of course, we're books at our core, but we're access, and we're creating and helping the community design and create the future here as well.
Absolutely.
One of our most popular staff members that many people in the South Branch speak to but may never meet in person is Jamie Morris. She does all of our booking for our community meeting rooms, which are free of charge to nonprofits. So that was one of the big items that we heard from a lot in this part of the community, was to have additional meeting space. So Jamie, why don't you give us a little tour of the corner conference room and then the large meeting room?
Sure. We're really excited about the meeting space here at the new South Branch. As many of you know, the old South Branch had a very small meeting room, and it was used for many purposes, programming and quiet study and Macomb literacy. So we're really pleased that we have some great new areas to show you. The first one is going to be our conference room. It seats 20 people. And it can be configured with just chairs. It can also be configured with tables, so you can do a classroom style setup or more of a theater style configuration. There's a whiteboard, and there will be a screen for PowerPoint presentations, and it's got a lot of wonderful natural light. It's going to be a great place for people to meet and gather for a variety of activities, from the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Macomb Literacy, homeowners associations, and we're really excited about it. Our next area, which I'll take you through, has a kitchenette, which is very exciting. We've never had this at the South Branch before, so there will be a refrigerator here. There's some nice counters, a sink, and there's a serving counter, and that all leads into our large meeting room. Our large meeting room can seat up to 100 people or up to 50 people with tables and chairs, and we'll take you in there right now. It's still in the construction phase, obviously, but it's wonderful. There's a whiteboard up there. There's going to be an area for a screen to drop down to do PowerPoint presentations, audio-visual capabilities, podiums for speakers. As I mentioned before, the serving counter for food. It's going to be a great space. A lot of homeowners associations in the area are often too large to meet at this location, and we're thrilled to be able to have them be able to meet at this location. So it's a wonderful space. Meetings can be booked up to 60 days in advance, twice a month. They're open to residents of Clinton-Macomb Township with a valid library card, and it does have to be a nonprofit organization. You can get more information about meeting rooms at our website at www.cmpl.org. In addition to the meeting rooms, we also have group study rooms. We're very excited about the group study rooms here at the South Branch. We have 2 of them. They seat up to 6 people. There's a whiteboard. They're great for studying. And as you can see, there's a small groups who want to do schoolwork, homework, that kind of thing. One of the new things that we are introducing at the South Branch is a software system called DIBS, and we don't formally reserve group study rooms at our main library now, but here at this location you can formally reserve a group study room. DIBS is going to be available from your mobile phone or from a computer right here in the library. You just have to have a valid library card, and you can reserve one of these study rooms up to 7 days in advance. We're very excited about this new technology, and we hope it gets used a lot at the new South Branch. And one of the great features about the new group study room here at the South Branch is that we are naming one after a former board trustee. And Larry, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. Bob Anderson was a member of the library board through its major construction phase in the early 2000s, and he was a great trustee. He had a great sense of humor. He was a banker by profession and really brought a great skill set to the library board. So when he passed away last year, the board wanted to create a special tribute in his honor. And so we're going to be naming this group study room here the Robert S. Anderson Group Study Room, and we'll be doing that ceremony in a couple of weeks. Since the new South Branch is owned by the library and will be our permanent home, as we were working on the design, we also wanted to make sure that there was opportunity for cultural and artistic expression that will be meaningful to people coming into the building. Our theme for the building was soaring, soaring of the imagination and imagining the possibilities for the future. And as we started to think about what might be a great addition to the library, Pyro Art Glass Studio just up Gratiot in Mount Clemens came to mind. The owners, Philip Yamron and Robin Oakes, have tremendous experience and artistic talents, and we approached them about coming up with a collaborative project. With funding from the Friends of the Library, they presented some ideas, and we came up with this incredible art glass sculpture that hangs from the ceiling that we just have found to be an incredible inspiration, and we think people coming into the building will really appreciate and admire this incredible piece of work. It weighs over 1,500 pounds, and it's made up of nearly 100 individually hand-blown glass pieces that are all connected via a stainless steel support structure. This area is also going to serve as a quieter zone in the library where we'll have magazines and a nice comfortable reading space for people to be able to sit back and relax and enjoy the artwork. So as we've mentioned before, our one small little room that serves as everything at the current library was really a problem, especially if we had a messy program or a louder program and we'd basically have to tell everybody in the library, okay, sorry if you're working on your resume or studying for an exam, now we need to do a craft program or story time. So Michelle, why don't you tell everybody about this wonderful new program space for the kids?
Absolutely. Yeah, for years now, we've had princess tea parties take over our little branch, and people have been very generous with the space, and we've worked together as a team with patrons and staff. But now, with all the new spaces in this location, this is a storytime room designed specifically so that our youth librarians can work with the kids, run their storytime programs and other programs as they come up. Maybe they're book clubs, because they have some really great book clubs for kids from age I think it's 3rd grade all the way till 6th grade, and the teens then take over from there. So one of the images that we have here at South Branch is we have great book clubs from basically 3rd grade to adult. And now the story time will build the younger readers into those book clubs, and I think the youth librarians are really excited to be able to have their space. Their kids can listen to their music in here and dance around and play and then make their craft, and it's really exciting.
And reading is so important. It's just the building blocks for success in everything else in life. And as we're coming up on summer, it's so wonderful that we're just at the very beginning of summer opening this branch, because if kids read 6 books over 6 weeks, they will maintain their reading level over the summer, not deal with the summer slide and be starting at a disadvantage when they're going back to school in the fall.
Yeah, every year I'm astonished at how much our youth librarians put together for these kids to come into the library all summer long. But our summer reading program, I have kids that come in, they read their books, they get through their maze, and they say, "Oh, thank you for my prize." And I say, "No, thank you for coming in and visiting with us, because it's going to help them in the long run." And studies have been done repeatedly, and the scores will go up on their testing. So we're here to support that in the community, and we make it fun because they get a prize.
And we certainly follow the Every Child Ready to Read principles, which really help kids get prepared so that by the time they get to school, they are ready to jump right in and get a great start. So we're really pleased to be such a critical part of that. And again, we want, bring your kids, bring your grandkids. And that's the fun part about summer, is that they're not restricted to specific reading lists, accelerated readers, or Lexile, although we certainly can provide materials based on those interests or needs. But here it's let them come in and pick the books out that they want for fun and get really excited about things they're interested about, or may want to inspire a new interest or read about. So
I think that's one of our luxuries. We support the learning experience, but we have so much fun doing it. So you don't even realize that you're building up your Lexile levels with your summer reading, because you're enchanted by the mystery that you're reading, or the fiction and the fantasy. Kids just come into the library. For years now, I've watched them come into the South Branch and walk down the path to the PAWS room, excited just to be able to go into their own room. And now with this story time room, we're building upon that, and they'll be able to walk in and come to their zone over here and see all of their books and all of their materials, and even a gaming station. And then also the story time room. And I think that this room right here is going to be the starter for our future readers in this area. We start at baby and on up, so it's really exciting.
And it's nice too, I mean, we integrate technology. People are always saying, well, our tablets and e-books are going to replace the library, and for us it really is just another way to deliver service, to sort of connect everything together. And I know a lot of kids still like the traditional book. They see a computer screen all day long, and there's something comforting and traditional about paper media as well.
Well, even one of our librarians, when she started here, she's like, you know what, I'm going to put nursery rhymes into my story time. Just at the end, I'm going to do a couple of them. And she was surprised at how many kids didn't know the classic nursery rhymes, and then they got excited about them. So yes, at the same time as all of a sudden one week we'll have a tablet story time, a different week you'll see a nursery rhyme that you haven't heard since you were a child. So yeah, variety is our game, really.
I think the other nice thing too, when people talk about the internet and libraries, is where else can you just walk down the street, go around the corner, and meet people, and then librarians, get to know them, they get to know your interests, and then generations of families start to come in. You get to see them grow up, go through school, start college, all of that. And it's a personal connection that you're just not going to get somewhere else.
Absolutely. We can watch the kid come in for story time, get them into the book club years later. Maybe they're coming in for a different program. All of a sudden they're graduating high school, they want to know where I can get scholarships. And then they come back and visit because they just want something to read on the weekend. So it's what we're here for. Absolutely.
And then they can bring their kids back.
That's right.
And we do see a lot of grandparents too. This is a great place. I hear them compare us to a toy store, except everything here is free. So it is really a great outing. The only thing we're trying to sell you is a good book, or a nice way to pass some time in the summer, or whatever you're looking for.
Some smiles. We like to have smiles too.
Absolutely. The Clinton-Macomb Public Library has always been known as being a high-tech 21st century library, and Julianne Morian, Associate Library Director, is responsible for much of it. You'll notice many things that we have implemented at the main library, implemented at the new South Branch, and a few new things. So Julianne, let's get an overview.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect introduction, because what I like to say is that we've stole the best ideas from our main library, which was our sortation system. It's just a more modern version of it because it's entirely electric, no more sort of pneumatic air valves to deal with at this location, but we've enhanced it by adding a drive-up window. So this is a first for the Clinton-Macomb Public Library. And so our intent is that this is how you would come and pick up your hold items or your deal with account issues. So we've got our lovely patron right here who's waiting to pick up her hold. Here you are. Your hold is right there. And have a nice day.
You too.
So it's a fun new service point for us, one that we will enjoy dealing with patrons as they drive up, or if they just need to return their materials, we'll ask that they'll use the sortation system.
And also, particularly unique with our drive up is that for holds items, people don't have to call ahead to say where they want the item to be left. So if they decide to come into the library, the weather's nice, just walk up like they've always done, take it right off the shelf, check it out. Or maybe it's snowing out, or maybe they have the kids in the car, maybe they have the dog in the car and they don't want to leave the car, so they can just drive up, say, please give me this hold, and the staff member will retrieve it.
We try to make it as patron-friendly as possible, so whatever works for you that day, we are going to serve you the best way we can.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for this sneak preview tour of the new South Branch Library that we're so excited to have open. Join us, by all means, on Sunday, June 22nd at 2 p.m. for the dedication. We're also going to have special hours that day on a Sunday when we're not normally open here. We'll be open until 6 p.m. for business, so if you need to come in and get a new library card, check items out, we'll be here to provide service, all sorts of entertainment for the whole family. Come in, meet the artist who designed the special sculpture that we have in the center of the library, and just get to come and find your favorite space at the newest branch of the Clinton-Macomb Public Library. We hope to have you and your family in the library soon. Thank you.